Education is fundamental and essential to the jobs, productivity and prosperity of the future. And education is the biggest and most powerful weapon we have against disadvantage. I've always seen it as one of the great divides in Australian politics. Labor sees education as about creating opportunity. The Liberals see it as about entrenching privilege. A great distinction that the Australian people understand. It's why Labor remains committed, working with state and territory governments to getting every school to 100% of its fair funding level. And it's why today I'm announcing Labor's plan to help our schools and students bounce back. Our plan starts with the Student Wellbeing Boost. It will provide funding for school activities that get children back on track. This could mean more funding for school counsellors and psychologists, and for camps, excursions, sporting and social activities that improve children's wellbeing. Every Australian school stands to benefit from this investment, and the schools themselves will decide how to use the extra money to best help their students. Our plan will fund a free mental health check tool. Schools could choose to use this to help quickly identify students who may need extra support. Our plan will direct the Education Department to conduct an urgent review of the impact of COVID on students with disability so that they get the support that they need. These children have been amongst the most vulnerable during this pandemic, and they deserve a government that prioritises their protection along with their education. The other element of our plan is a schools upgrade fund, which will provide much needed support for improving ventilation in schools and creating outdoor learning areas. Both are key to managing the spread of COVID, just as they will be valuable for schools in a post-COVID world as well. This is something that the Morrison government should have already been doing to make sure schools are safe for our kids and teachers to return to, and not just for this term. Chief Medical Officer Paul Kelly tells us that COVID will be with us for some time, so we need to act and adapt. That means making our schools safer and better prepared for what's ahead. Mr Morrison never thinks as far ahead as next week, but the very business of a Labor government is to plan for the future. This is what good government does, it plans ahead instead of waiting for a crisis before acting and then doing too little too late. It's one more pandemic lesson Mr Morrison hasn't learnt, but we have.